Giants have emerged from their strongholds to threaten civilization as never before. Hill giants are stealing all the grain and livestock they can, while stone giants have been scouring settlements that have been around forever. Fire giants are press-ganging small folk into the desert, while frost giants' long ships have been pillaging along the Sword Coast. Even the elusive cloud giants have been witnessed, their wondrous floating cities appearing above Water's Deep and Baldur's Gate. Where is the storm giant King Hecaton, who is tasked with keeping order among these giants? What the lands of Faerun, the elves and the dwarves, the humans and the halflings, and the gnomes and the dragonborn need right now is a group of heroes to raise and take on this threat and ensure continued peace in the lands. Maybe one day they'll get round to it.
Talk on the streets and taverns of Baldur's Gate has turned to a death curse, a mysterious ailment afflicting anyone who has passed through the doors of death and returned. A wasting disease that seems them sliding back towards the death they once denied, and the doors of death seem to have sealed tightly shut, meaning that nobody can return from beyond them. Temples and scholars are at a loss to explain this mysterious death curse. A dark power grows in the jungles of Chult, a mysterious peninsula far to the south, ringed by mountains and choked by rainforests. The death curse and this dark power seem to be intertwined, and those suffering from the curse seek to bring an end to it. Heroes have been chosen for this task, but they have not returned, and time runs short for those seeking to avoid a second painful death. And so now it seems that it is time for new heroes to rise. Will they succeed where others have failed, or will they be doomed to wander lost in the jungles of Chult forever? Hello! And welcome to this final boss fight live stream. My name is John. Or it's even John, I don't know, it might be. My name's something. And I'm joined by Sean. And Amy.
Listen as I eat a cookie.
Now I want a cookie. And Sean is here.
I don't have cookie.
Oh. And Sammy is sort of here in a way. He is without microphone at moment. Because fuck updates. He is here in spirit and also hearing and typing. Hey anti-hacker, hey Tanny, hey other people in the Twitch chats.
I'll do.
Sammy says F a lot of things and also hello. We are here to play some D and or D. Last time the Golden Tooth got together, they went on a little stealth mission, which is totally their normal sort of thing.
Very well.
And they snuck into Hillsfar, and they disguised themselves as humans using the magic of a specially crafted disguise self scroll. And through clever subterfuge, got jobs at the castle and managed to get a copy of First Lord Torin Normathal's travel plans for his upcoming trip to visit the Waydown Garrison.
Exactly.
You then, while watching the end of the party, witnessed the assassination of Lord Torin Normathal's female friend. And upon following the assassin out of the party, discovered that she had not in fact been killed, and was in fact a succubus. Also, yes. Yes, I have. And I don't want to look it up. You then, while being told to wait by several Red Plume guards, decided to not do that thing. Calderax cast Hold Person and managed to freeze the one guard that had been left to watch over you, and turned his body to face the other way, and snuck out through the sewers.
Like the classy motherfuckers we are.
You snuck out of the sewers and returned to Elven Tree, where you went to the Hall of the Unicorn, met with Elenil, Serenia, and new person in the group of 3 that were giving you this briefing, the Black Staff of Waterdeep, whose name I also can't remember at this present moment in time. The Vajra Sophia, the Black Staff of Waterdeep, who is a sorcerer and wizard in charge of magical affairs and law enforcement within Waterdeep, who appears to be out on this particular area on... I seem to be having a problem with some names tonight. Who is currently out on this area on political travellings, and requested that Torin Normathal be replaced through means fair or foul, as long as they do not be traced back to Waterdeep.
He slipped and fell on his dagger.
So the rest of you retired for the night to the tavern, which was called the Root Beer, and were told that the following morning, Serenia, Elenil, and Vajra
Would have your mission.
would basically have been able to go through Lord Torin Normathal's plans for transport, travel, and the visit to the garrison.
Nice.
And would be able to inform you the best, or give you the options for your approach to what comes next.
Okay.
The swift and accurate and completely fair democratic process of leadership renewal.
Straight up killing a guy. Yeah.
So the following morning, who tends to wake up first?
I mean, Neff generally, because she doesn't need a lot of rest.
Is this true?
This is true. So Neferin makes her way down the stairs. Certainly not Barham. Neferin makes her way downstairs and finds Elenil, who is also an elf, is waiting in the Root Beer's common room.
Okay.
Good morning.
Neff will grab some breakfast and then head over and sit with them.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is delicate.
Yes, I can imagine. I assume we are talking about the same thing.
I assume that we are.
I'm assuming nothing has changed, particularly overnight.
I was referring to this painting I was making.
I've been doing this really fine lace work.
Statescraft is something that has been thrust on me very recently, and the same could be said for Vajra. We're both new to this. We know that Torin is probably doing what he thinks to be best.
Thinks being the important word there.
Yes. Yes. We've come up with a few plans. At the very least, we've come up with a plan that you are welcome to use, and also we are open to you coming up with your own assessment.
Okay.
We should probably wait for your other friends to wake up and come down.
Yeah.
Morning hose!
Like
look,
that
there's
one.
now.
Just comes down the stairs.
Squeak will very quickly follow. What's Squeak's morning phrases?
She somehow heard from Bob, the amazing chicken.
Yeah.
She's about 2 years too early for that, unfortunately.
Damn it.
Rip.
In time. There'll be time.
She comes down and goes over to the barkeep. Eggs and bacon. And then comes and sits with you guys.
Good morning, Squeak.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Azure.
Morning. I got food as well. Because I like food.
I think eventually Caldrax would sashay downstairs.
Pushing girl out of bed.
I didn't roll no persuasion thing.
Oh,
There was
shit.
no girl at the time.
I like
Wait,
to think
really?
that he wafts down the stairs, like some kind of cloak just trailing out behind him.
Moving on.
Sup?
Someone a grumpy gosh.
I'm not grumpy. I'm fine.
Looks pretty grumpy to me.
I'm a gnome.
No, you're not.
Sorry for scaring you.
You didn't. You didn't scare me.
She looks up to Caldrax. I will find someone to take your food order.
You're having way too much fun with this.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
Yay, there he is.
Where is it? I know that Barham gave me this one.
Do you have the chat on display, by the way, so people can read it?
Yes, I do.
Cool.
Slowly stands.
Squeak looks over at the bartender. I've just worked out, can Squeak click fingers?
No, she can make the noise of clicked fingers, though.
Yes, you could technically make the noise of it.
She clicks her finger feathers together, makes the noise of clicking one's fingers, and shouts, "Bartender! Drinks for me and me friends."
Single tear rolls down Barham's cheek.
So,
And my connection to Roll20 has been interrupted.
same. Ah!
There
There we go.
And Sammy says, FFS. Connection off.
Alright, ladies. What's the deal? What are we doing then?
Well, they've got a couple of ideas for things that might work, but they said we're welcome to have some suggestions of our own if we can think of anything better.
Wouldn't have a suggestion be going back to bed?
Barham states, morning, ladies, gentlemen, ladies, and everything in between.
What? That is not Scottish!
I mean, there was definitely a lack of French in there.
Yeah, I got a point.
I can only do loud Scottish, and I can't do loud Scottish because of a certain person in the store.
Yeah. Elenil explains that there is a group of minstrels that travel the countryside. And they have been known to put performances on at the garrison for Captain Helk, who is the captain of the garrison.
I like the sound of that.
They could, in theory, perform with some extra people, and at the very least, that would get you into the garrison.
Well, you know what? I like the sound of that.
From there, it is up to you. Felratha and her Merry Minstrels is the name of the group.
Have I heard of them?
You would have probably have heard of them, yes.
Okay.
Barham makes a point.
We only have one person who doesn't have a single. That's Carl.
Oh, fuck you! Since when has Callum sung?
They don't just have singers. I'm sure they have...
Well, to be perfectly frank, I don't know any instruments or am able to sing or perform in any manner. Well.
Squeak knows. Fuck you. Squeak knows instruments. I know instruments. Oh yeah, so do you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Obviously, many of the rest of you do, but I know nothing.
Have you even tried to sing before, mate?
No, but either way.
Try it.
No.
Try it.
Oh.
Well, if we're gonna do this, you might as well try.
Well, this is just one of a possible. Is there more than one plan, or is this the plan?
This is the plan that we have. You are welcome to come up with alternative plans.
Normally when we come up with alternative plans, it results in a lot of death. And for once, I'm liking this music route, to be honest.
As I say, it doesn't have to be music.
But I like music.
We only have shit ideas, so let's do this.
I mean, I can try, I suppose.
The worst that can happen, mate, is that you're tone deaf. And if that's the case, I'll just use prestidigitation to disguise it.
Can you use prestidigitation to hide singing?
I can use it to make a sensory effect. So it sounds like you're singing. You just have to lip sync.
I mean, that is one way to do it. I mean, alternatively, we come in and help move the equipment.
That's a good point, actually. Wouldn't Cataracts like know hymns or something? Or is Clemville not keen on singing about death and shit?
I mean, it's more. I always see, like, I always see it as more like prayer and stuff in, especially when it comes to like the god of the departed.
Fair enough.
So I assume you will want to meet with Fellarartha.
I would be more than happy to.
No, let's just wing it on the day. No, let's go and meet.
Okay. He will be there in a couple of days' time.
Oh, not more waiting.
So you have a few days to meet with Fellarartha and rehearse.
Meeting us? They must be thrilled, the poor buggers.
Tonight, Sammy will be played by the voices of whoever the fuck feels like it.
Whoever reads it first.
Whoever feels like they can do a Scottish accent at the time.
Not me, then. Haha.
You know what, Cal? I have just come up with a song for you to sing about Kalembo. You ready?
What is this?
Strumming his lip. Kalembo, he'll show you the door if you're feeling sick or poor.
Just kind of looks up. Don't think ill of him. I mean, I prefer if he didn't cut his time short right now because he's kind of useful at the moment.
What the fuck was that?
It's called freestyle, alright? I'm still practicing.
Yes, I know he's irritating, but you know, it'd be useful in his little endeavor. So.
So see, this is a shit idea. Well, like you said, we're known for shit ideas, and they always work.
Squeak holds two fingers up. Special.
Anyways.
You love me, really.
So we gotta meet up with this guy and practice for a few days. No sonar to, but only in Storkashlo.
Alright, hang on, give me 2 seconds.
What, do you have a Scottish person around to read Barham for us?
Just saying, I'm proficient in the lute, the lyre, and the pan flute. So if we could find, like, Caldorax a pan flute, could I teach him, like, some basic things in a couple of days?
In theory, you might be able to teach him very basic song.
I'll teach him Twinkle Twinkle.
I'm proficient in the dice set.
Barham says, I thought Amy was going to say, I'm proficient in Scottish accents. It's on my character sheet. Elenil will give you some instructions for where to head to.
Let's go.
And it takes you about half a day's travel.
Can we buy a pan flute on the way?
Yes. And I'm going to say a pan flute will set you back 5 silver.
5 silver. Then I shall buy it with my own money. And I will gift it to Cal. I'll use prestidigitation to make a little bow on top of it. Which I don't think I can do, but just imagine it for dramatic effect.
Sammy is incensed that you are buying things with your own money.
I just love the image of, like, Malzuri giving it to him and the whole team is looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you all looking at me like that?
I count this as a victory, says Squeak.
My insight check.
No, you see it happening. It's real. Who are you? What have you done with my friend? Talk now.
It's 5 silver. I'm not gonna go bankrupt from it.
That was vaguely Scottish. Northern regions at the very least.
Which is bad considering Malzur is supposed to be Cockney.
No, I meant mine. 5 silvers you paid with your own purse.
I have bought things before with my own money.
Or did you steal them before?
I did not steal them before. If anything, we collectively stole them together on all the looting that we've done, mate.
You stole them before. Are they from the orchard?
Music should not be handled badly. Therefore, paying money for music, I say, is a fair price. It's what I told Morgs when I got him his lyre.
I don't buy it. You're hiding something.
I am literally not hiding anything, mate. They're just pan flutes.
Something with Cal.
Hits with tail. Fine. I won't teach him then. We'll give the pan flutes back and we'll all be fucked. Will that help?
I'm waiting for a response. No.
Nope.
I don't know what the inflection on that no is. It's just...
Fucking shit, mate.
You really changed. The Mal I met would never buy anything.
I bought things before. I steal what I can't afford, alright?
And that's everything. He didn't actually say that bit yet, but that's just the next line from one jump ahead.
Yeah, I knew
So,
you would do that.
I mean, I like the new you.
Oh. I was kind of hoping you'd like the old me as well.
Neff is looking elsewhere, saying nothing but slight grin. Just surprising. Apparently, I'm just going to voice all of the chat.
Well, glad you think so. Now let's go. And he just like takes Cal by the wrist and drags him away.
Pat. You're an adult now.
go! Walks off.
I'm proud of you.
Stop.
I really am.
Just tugging Cal away faster.
Neff will nudge Squeak and just be like, holding hands.
Why are you dragging me by my wrist?
Because I can. Now we're gonna learn to play these pan flutes, alright?
Fine, but you don't have to drag me away by my wrist.
I don't even know what you're doing.
Squeak will turn to you, Nephrin, and just say, family?
Better be a fucking good orchard!
Hey, I'll buy you an orchard for your wedding.
Yeah, Squeak, I think it could be.
And as we're travelling, I shall teach Calderox the basics.
I ain't doing that.
I just love Barham, professional songwriter, just like, on his drums. Malzere, he tells the truth. What rhymes with truth?
Anyway, you finally make your way to a painted, covered wagon that rests near a small campfire in a copse of trees. Malzere, he tells the truth. I got a proof.
That's really good.
Bashing on the drums. Glass baubles, paper decorations, and a neatly painted sign reading Felratha's Merry Minstrels hangs from the awning of the wagon, and two hooded figures sit around the campfire in silence.
Yes, this looks like the perfect minstrel band.
One of them spots your approach due to the very quiet nature with which you came up here singing and dancing. And removes her hood and will stand and greet you. Oh, and apparently we've jumped from 20 to 86% in one go.
Oh, right.
Good evening. My name is Felratha.
Hello, Felratha.
Sup?
My name's Malzere Chernadorn.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Good. Mimics Cal. Squeak. Do I really not have hello?
Well, you will have done.
Yeah.
I need to.
Like any of us, she would know hello, surely.
She's got goodbye listed. She walks up and goodbye.
I assume someone would have at least said hello to her at some point.
She can say kill him.
Stop.
An NPC will have done.
Then she shakes hands and says, kill him.
Well, my name is Malzere Chernadorn, lute player of the lands.
I am a Kenku.
And she is a Kenku, yeah.
My speech is made of mimicking.
Her speech is made of mimicking. I'm Calderox Greycastle. I have no...
You're going to be quite the challenge.
I'm Barham. I kill things.
I looked at that for a minute there and I thought it said, I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. I kill things.
Do the exact opposite of what Batman does.
I just kind of like shove Nephrin in front just to say, please help us.
Show you normality.
It's gonna take some work to get these guys up to scratch. And myself.
Excellent. We have a few days.
I can certainly help with behind the scenes stuff if needed, like sewing and things. Might be a guise that I can get in on under that requires no musical skill.
I think we can work with that. Felratha is a bubbly red-headed woman with a kind heart. I don't know how her physical description has a kind heart, but she does.
Oh, it's hanging on the outside. It's got a smiley.
No, seriously, you got goblin problems? I can sort it out. You need bodyguards. We might be able to work with that. You look like you're pretty strong, though. Could you do a... You maybe work in like a strongman act, like picking stuff up or something.
I mean,
Arm wrestling.
Arm wrestling would do well in a barracks.
I can pick stuff up all night.
But arm wrestling would be quite good. A lot of people, especially if we have a few females, they'll be trying to show off, bravado and all that.
I can pick Mal and throw him over this tree if you want.
What? Where did that come from?
Yeah.
Can you please not? I can climb trees.
That would be a great show. I'm sorry for anybody Scottish tuning in, as we are not. Smiles at Mao in Scottish.
Painful smile back.
He's definitely got strength on his side. I mean, in theory, I could do some archery skills, maybe?
We could maybe work with that.
Irritate some people with seeking arrows, you know.
I'm a cleric of Kalimdor. What can you spin that around?
You're flamboyant.
Could you compare, maybe?
Compare?
Like, introduce the show.
Oh, Ringmaster.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Got the voice for it.
Well, thank you.
Neff just kind of nods like, oh yeah, that would work.
Just, Neff suddenly chomping on a cigar. I love it when a plan comes.
It's actually a stick of licorice, but she's just holding it like a cigar.
Oh, what spell is it where you do the stick of licorice?
I can't remember.
One of the spells has that as a material
I
component.
shall look for it.
You do that. You got the voice, plus you'll get all the pretty ladies from the show. I mean, you usually get them in your room. You can bring them somewhere else, I'm sure.
Well, voice is calm.
This is not the time nor the place.
And at that point, the other person, who is still sat by the fire and hasn't revealed themselves to you, says, "No, it most certainly isn't." And you guys recognize the voice.
We do?
This is Aris, who,
Fuck is that?
who, if you cast your minds back many weeks, new phone, who dis? Aris removes his hood, and before you stands a drow. His skin mottled by what appears to be colourful fungus.
Interesting.
Yes, it's been a while. I was brokering a trade deal up here. There is a great threat in the Underdark, growing threat in the Underdark. I need to get back there, and the fastest way is through the garrison.
I see.
That is a big hole in the ground which leads there, so...
I was... Well, Master Dwarf, you do have a point. There tends to be some big threat or another in the Underdark.
Yeah, why do you think we never fucking go there?
I am hoping that with the support of this new deal, I can hold the threat back for a little while, at the very least. But I need to get into the garrison and down the way down, which I will piggyback off of your stealth mission into the castle.
Again.
Well,
Look, mate, you're cool and all, but you can't just keep relying on us to sneak you here, there, and everywhere, unless you're paying.
We're only going to get so many attempts to sneak into the garrison, but I can bankroll some money.
Now you're talking.
And at this point, I wish I could remember where that bit of information was kept in the adventure. How big are my pockets?
Well, I can put my hands in.
You're putting your hands in his pockets? That's weird.
Oh,
Yes, I am.
Get your hands out of my
next to him.
pockets.
Did you find any cash while you're in there?
No, Lint.
Yeah.
An unreasonable amount of Lint, actually.
I can pay 400 gold.
that's alright.
Very reasonable amount.
Neff just mutters, must be keeping that in his coat.
Or maybe he's keeping it somewhere else.
I'll leave you to ponder that one.
Yes.
Anyway, we have 3 days before the show.
Yes.
Let's...
Let's do this!
Ah, woo.
Training montage!
Felratha will go into the caravan and has a number of disguises that you can use to disguise the fact that you are not human.
Again. Ugh.
It is a garrison of red plumes.
Yeah, we're going into a big old nest of racists.
I suppose.
Alice picks out a... Computer has updated. Prepare for bad French Scottish. Aris has picked out a lion mask, complete with a gold cloak and gloves, and explains that he will be going under the stage name of Lioneth the Sword Juggler.
That is the worst name in ever.
At which point he starts juggling a few short swords.
Nice.
It's just a skill I picked up when I was a young drow.
Alright, Drist.
Hey, I'm legally distinct.
I'm very similar to like, legally distinct from.
Oh, fuck you, Barum. That way we can call Mal and Cal the duo of goat people. The duo of people. Mind fucking repeating that, mate?
The duo of people. Yes, perfectly normal horned people.
What? I said people. You are people.
That's true, but Cal's got a point. What do we do about the horns?
Either we need hats, or we need an excess of hair.
I mean, I've got wigs.
Or we just pretend we're in costume.
Oh god, we lost him.
You could put a headband on to make it look like the horns are detachable.
That's what I mean. We could just make it out with some sort of like at the ball. They were all, oh, look at us lot. We're the.
I hear him.
Yes, I am back. Finally.
Okay.
Right, I've got a plan. I'm going to, if we're all disguising ourselves, I will get out my costume gear, my disguise kit. I'm going to dress in the costume that the team met me in the first time they met me, which was the woman who sang about all the marriages she went through. And in that character, she was a bit crazed. So what I had is that she did still have the horns because it was the whole implication, oh, she's crazy and a devil. So I could fashion it so it does look like the horns are detachable. Sound good?
Yeah, that could work.
And that is
Turns to Squeak. And what do we do about Squeak?
Costume.
She pulls out a mask. And just puts on a mask of a bird over her own.
just a witch doctor.
This is perfect.
Hey, witch doctor, give us the magic word.
Alright.
I mean,
Nah, 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 nah.
Oh.
Nobody has said that to Squeak.
Alderax leans in. Well, you see, it's a oogie.
I will have to inform Maddie after this session is over that Squeak has now learnt ooh ee ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bing bang, and see what her reaction is. Okay, I'm gonna have to quickly grab my map and make some minor alterations.
a side thought for Squeak. Circus acts and things generally have beings that are different. Can she come in under some sort of guise like that?
Beautiful bird.
It's a thing. However, I fear how they're going to treat her.
Yeah, it is. It is risky.
In that, on the one hand, oddities are like, ooh, look at the oddity. But if you bring it into a bunch of people who don't like it, you're kind of heading for a lynching.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be 100% wrong, and they're just going to point and laugh and whatever. But
I mean, alternatively, she's stealthy as all hell.
she is stealthy as all hell. Give her enough of a cloak and everything, they won't notice her. Especially if we're making enough of a distraction.
Potentially.
Just burn the place down and there's a big distraction.
Yeah. You know, some kind of fire starting spell gone wrong. Purely accidental, of course.
Horrific accidents. Just sent it all up in, duplicate racist face's general direction. All up in there.
We just need someone drinking particularly strong alcohol and, be explosive.
Alcohol.
You said the magic word that's summoned me.
You should have seen my 140th birthday. I don't remember it.
Exactly. See? I got experience in that.
I've never been blind drunk.
I at least know how to have fun.
Who's
Yes.
That was Calderax.
Oh yeah.
That was while Calderax and Malzere were having a big argument.
Wait, what was it?
Well, the only two lines from the argument I've got are Calderax, I at least know how to have fun. Malzere, I have my own fun.
My fun is better.
My fun is more entertaining.
Let's...
Is more sensual.
Can you stop?
I was going to start quoting Frankenfurter then, but I thought no.
Mine appreciates the beauty of life and music more. Yours is just temporary pleasure.
No, I appreciate many permanent things.
Which is why you worship a god of death.
Okay, let's do the map now. Do you guys wish to do anything else in the 3 days or so?
I'm just teaching you.
Barum would probably go and see Nephrin about a certain something.
Oh shit.
So, at some point during the 3 days, he would go and see Nephrin and be like, can I talk to you for a minute? Private talk.
Yeah. Lead on.
Do you want to do that in the private talk
Still
channel?
You know what, let's do that in the private place.
Just gonna nudge Sammy down a little bit.
As always.
It's just a little bit hot tonight.
Remember that, that letter I got, like, a few days ago?
Yeah.
It's kind of a family business, well, not exactly like, you know, the close family, it's more like the extended one. I only have, like, one cousin, and he's married to an elf, like you. And so the brother of his wife, who's also my cousin then, asked me to help him with something. Basically what happened, I will go back to the first thing. It may be a bit confusing at first.
Okay.
I'm not a very great storyteller.
It's alright.
When I went to Waterdeep with Squeak, we came across my cousin, Theodas. And, well, he had a bit of a trouble with family as well, like missing wife. You know, big trouble.
Yes, that is a rather large amount of trouble.
Yeah, and he was doing nothing about it, so I told him to man up. And, apparently he's taken my advice, which is kind of the first time, actually, that someone takes my advice. But, so now he's leaving home to, you know, go and look for his wife. He's gonna leave home in a few days, and since he knows no one else, really, than me around his home, he asked me to come and live at his place to make sure that everything stays fine, and his house is well kept, you know. So, I mean, I like you guys, but this is like family, blood family. And
Yeah, I can understand that.
and I never really had the opportunity to do anything for my family, so I accepted.
Yeah, when you've got a limited number of family, you have to do what you can for them. I understand.
I'm not going to be that super far. I've just been Waterdeep, and probably take some of my men as well. But if you ever get into trouble, you can always contact me. You know, I don't remember exactly how many days we went there. but it's not really far. It's like a few days ride.
Yeah.
So, you know, and you could always come here for I don't know, Sunday tea or whatever elf thing you do on the Sunday.
Yeah. That's all
So
right.
yeah, after this, I think this is well, this is gonna be it.
I mean, that's a shame for our group, but it's family.
Like, it's
You do what
fine.
you can for family, so I understand.
You guys will do fine without me. Mal's turning out honest people,
Yeah, that is quite the development.
and well, Kara's banging less women or men or whatever,
Or whatever else he finds.
and I feel you have become a bit more relaxed with us as well.
Yeah. Yeah, things have changed. So what happens with Squeak?
What that?
What happens with Squeak is, I assume she's staying with us?
I can't really say. You know, Squeak wording is not the fullest thing.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about it. Or at least, well, every time I tried, we would meet a fucking dead end, because I don't know how to phrase the thing.
I mean, if you need a hand with that at some point, let me know.
Yeah, possibly. Just make sure that the people are doing okay while I'm gone.
Mhm.
And keep the castle in good shape. That's very important. And whoever you take to replace me, because you'll need someone to replace me, I think. He can have my room, but he can't fucking touch my trophies. That's mine.
Okay. Maybe we'll find a different shelf to put them on so that they're out of touching distance.
But yeah, if you ever come to Waterdeep, I'll be delighted to have you.
Yeah, thank you.
And you've been a good friend
Yeah.
for an elf.
Thanks. It's been nice getting to know you and everyone here, so.
You're literally the only one who stood up a chance against those orcs. So, you're pretty badass.
I try. And you're pretty
Yeah.
badass too. Especially with your spiky hugs.
Hey, one day you come and watch the tip, I'll teach you that. But you need a spiky armor as well. Not sure if they do it in your size.
It could be.
Yes, Cal?
It could be interesting.
I think the other are getting impatient.
I think
Are we?
they are, yes.
Are we ready?
We should get back to the others, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, back.
I just wanted to see if anyone would notice.
It was noticed. I have the full screen of the game in front of me.
I was just making sure you're not paying attention.
What are you?
But while we were in the chat still, I just went. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
I really should have been paying attention to that map that you're on.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Anyway,
I will be teaching Calderex the pan flute. Still arguing with him.
you argue and work to teach Calderax the pan flute, not Palderax the can flute.
You're a fucking prick. Now play the note C.
I'm trying to play the note C.
And
I know. Why don't we start with the note D since you know so much about D?
Someone jealous?
and eventually 2 to 3 days later.
Oh my god.
Neff will have.
The map.
Neff will have butted in at some point during the practice and gone like, well, we did say he could do the announcing, so if he doesn't learn, we've got options.
Yeah, but
Baron will just spend the entire training session just drumming in the background to give rhythm.
Also, I mentioned right now, before anything else, John, the stream needs a map too.
The stream does need a map, but you guys are here at the Way Down Garrison.
wait.
The stream would love a map if the there we go.
This is very big.
That looks like a big pit. So
It-
far, that's all I can see.
It's got walls, and you can't see through them.
It just looks like it's grass around the outside, just a black pit in the middle.
The yawning pit of death.
It's not great for castle.
It works.
It's fine as a castle. Dynamic lighting does not do wonders for castles because you just kind of see up to wall and then nothing.
Yeah. Deep dark pit.
But you and the caravans go. I would really appreciate it if the door would disappear now.
Right, are we ready to go, lads?
No.
My roll 20 may have frozen.
Yeah, mine just did that. It unfroze itself.
Oh, there we go.
Alright, hang on. Before we go in, I want Calderex. I wanted to do performance to see who was playing better during the practice.
You really want to do this?
I swear, if it's Counteraxe, that play better.
It's not going to be me. It's going to be performance. I'll make sure I'm not on advantage because sometimes I forget about that. Performance. Nope.
It was close.
Nope.
That
You
bad?
failed.
The two caravans of Felratha's merry minstrels,
Yeah.
and your fine selves, come to the front gate of the garrison,
We didn't get a caravan.
and basically this wall, and this wall are all lined with arrow slits.
Well, shit.
And you can see inside that there are some soldiers on the inside looking out. And also there is a guard here behind a portcullis.
Are we disguised at this point?
Yeah.
You have disguises on to disguise the fact that you are not humans.
Great, so I'm a woman now. Yay!
Could dwarf is that dwarf humans?
You are close. Like they give you slight stilt boots to make you just tall enough that you could be a very short human.
Shoes.
The soldier here, seeing your approach, I've got something in my mouth. Gestures.
Is that what the guards say?
No.
Oh god, my glasses, oh my sinuses, oh god.
Gestures.
Who goes there?
Gestures, and the portcullis is raised. And the doors open. And you guys are allowed inside the castle. I would like to point out that I don't have any furniture for the castle, so you're going to have to picture the furniture for yourselves.
Imagination.
So you didn't use the Nephrine redesign of the map then?
Unfortunately, if I use the Nephirin room design map, Shan knows what's on the map. which gives Shan a somewhat unfair advantage, I feel.
But my memory is absolutely shocking, so the chances of me remembering it are minimal.
You are led inside a great hall.
Oh, Jesus.
This is a great hall. It's a pretty good hall.
A very great hall.
That boulder? That's a nice boulder.
And basically sat around tables are a number of Red Plume guards and soldiers. And on this side of the room is a man with a fine moustache. And on this side of the room, sat at an exquisite table, is Lord Torin Normathal himself. And then there are some more soldiers, because, you know, why not? We'll have some more soldiers.
You know what this room needs? More soldiers!
The wooden tables have been pushed against the walls, and there are... Again, you might need to picture what the description tells you compared to what's actually in the room, because there are dozens of Red Plume soldiers who are standing and giving you a rousing cheer. And a mustachioed man, Mr. Captain Hellick, stands and says, "Red Plumes, your captain speaks. In light of recent tragic events and our great guest this evening, I felt an extra helping of good cheer was in need. I give to you Felratha's merry minstrels. As you make sacrifices for me and the First Lord, I too will make great sacrifices for you."
By sacrificing these minstrels.
I will sacrifice my ears for you.
He claps his hands together and beckons for the show to begin. And Felratha steps forward first and leads the group, leads the guards in a rowdy drinking song. While it's a dwarven drinking song.
Oh boy!
You can tell it's
I know this one.
You can tell it's a dwarven drinking song because it contains the word drink, and there's singing.
And they mention a mine at one point.
How they enjoy digging a hole.
I just turn to
Song, huh?
I just turn to Malzio and just say, "It's full of metaphors."
Right.
You see, the mine isn't really the mine. It's actually...
The shaft is not really the shaft of the mine either.
Genuinely surprised you know what a metaphor is.
Of course I know what a metaphor is. I'm cultured, you dimwit.
And then Ares steps forward and starts juggling short swords.
Because you don't know.
And there is great applause as Ares comes to a finish and walks through Barham.
Magic.
And then
In itself.
Felratha steps forward ahead again. "Ladies and gentlemen of the Way Down Garrison, it is my most esteemed pleasure, my greatest delight, to introduce to you the compare without compare, the ringmaster,
Oh, fuck.
the ringmaster of the rest of tonight's performances, the most splendiferous, the wonderful dude, the most amazing Calderax Grey Castle."
Just leans to Malzio. I think she's picking me a little bit too much.
Just shoves you forward.
Barham whispers as Calderex is shoved forward. "This is really a shit idea."
Can I just go up and stab him now? I feel we'll have the same result.
And the room bursts into applause as Calderak steps forward. And then, after a time...
I just message him going, "What's wrong? You got stage fright?"
I have no earthly clue what he would say.
I
think Calderak honestly would have no earthly clue what to say.
I message him going, "Just introduce one of us."
Morning!
Instantly after he says morning, Varm turns to Malzay. Well, this fucked.
Compliment them.
What a beautiful bunch of people you all are.
Oh, it's face palms.
Well, oh, God, I don't know what to say. This isn't. I think Calderak would know what to say, but I honestly.
You can roll me a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
I'm gonna persuade you that I know what I'm doing.
Okay. Calderak steps forward and, with a little bit of stage fright and being unsure what to say, he does slowly start, and you can see some of his charismatic, womanizing ways start to flow, and compliments go out to people.
Not just womanizing.
There's not really a word for that. Peopleizing?
Izing.
Izing? So, some of his...
The general populace.
Yeah. He
General sex pestery.
He compliments people, he introduces, and he bigs up Malzare Chernadorn.
Well,
Yeah,
don't use my... You'll have to feminize my name. I'm a woman right now.
Galzare Chernadorn.
Right, you say my name is feminine enough.
No, I said gal.
Galzer.
Yeah, Galzare. Galzarin. Galzarin.
Should I perform?
And then he steps back to allow Malzare and to enter center stage.
Right, I will perform Les Song, which is about the many husbands that my Galzare, I guess, has had. What are you calling?
Calderak apparently runs out of the castle.
Why?
Honestly, if he were to do that, Barn would just catch him by the tail or something.
What this shit about?
There are a few polite applause as Calderak cedes the stage to Malzare. Like
So-
golf clap.
So I will sing in my best woman voice and all that about all the husbands I've had, and woe be me how love comes badly to me and how I can find the perfect man. Now, normally in this instance, Malzare would take one of these, you know, he would take someone in the audience, like a guy, and say like, "Oh, would you be willing?" and just make a joke about it. But then he's thinking, "Oh, well, if I do this with any of these guys, they're probably gonna see through the whole tiefling thing." So, Calderak, you just hear in your head, "Please just play along with this," and he just turns straight to you.
Just, wait, what?
He just dashes to you and just like drags you back out.
Oh no!
Just a look of sheer terror back at the others.
And then she's just like, "Now we'll be tied, my love. Would you be my new husband?"
Why, of course, my lady.
Oh! Oh, thank the stars! My heart was going quick from the lack of love in my life. And he just kind of like does a dramatic faint into your arms.
Grabs.
And that's it.
Would you like to roll me a performance check?
Oh, I'd love to roll a performance check.
Both of us or just him?
No, just him.
Just him. That's right.
Actually, roll that again. I will give you advantage because Caldrax is helping.
Oh.
I'm helping.
Yay!
See, I helped.
There is, as you step out onto stage as a female tiefling, there is shocked gasps go up around the room, and a horrified tittering builds. But then you start singing, and they slowly die down. And then there's some cheers as you bring Caldrax back onto the stage. And then at just the end of the performance, there is thunderous applause.
I love it.
Does it come to an end, I presume?
Yeah, that's it.
And he takes Galzeray's hand, bows, and kisses it before letting him leave.
He smiles at you and walks back.
Wasn't that wonderful, ladies and gentlemen?
As you walk back, Nazray, you can't ignore the big grin on Barham's face as he winks knowingly at you.
He winks back.
Squeak walks up behind you, Barham. Malzere.
Gives you a wedgie.
I count that as a victory.
I'll agree.
So who would be next? Who would be next? I'm feeling... Am I allowed to pick who's next, or do you want to pick who's next?
No, I'm happy for you to pick.
I'm feeling that these ladies and gentlemen require a show of brawn and strength. So of course it's effort, no? So, show of utter manly power and strength. Welcome to the stage, Barham!
And once again, he goes to use that. You're oversetting this.
Let's go along with that.
Okay, Barroom goes up to the stage, looks at all the people around, and...
Wets himself.
Hmm?
And wets himself.
No. Although he would be very tempted right now to ask Malzere to come up to the stage for a brawl.
Fuck you.
What could he do? That's an interesting thing. How many hand axe do I have?
That's a very good question.
I got so much shit I can't even find the hand axe.
Let me have a look.
I got one hand axe, okay. I got
Really?
several javelins.
You got several javelins.
I'm gonna need an assistant for this.
Caldrax!
Who is your sister? Me?
I call back Caldrax.
No, you all can't get enough of me.
And I give him an apple. Go.
We just have a never-ceasing supply of apples.
Go over there. And place the apple on the ground.
Place his apple on ground.
So, at this point, I'm gonna use a javelin to try and reach the apple. With a 22, would that hit an apple?
You fling the javelin, and it pierces neatly through the apple. And yes, 8 points of damage to an apple.
Enough to kill the apple.
It falls neatly into 4 pieces.
And then he starts flexing.
Roll me.
So bold to... Yeah, roll you.
Oh no, keep going.
Who would be so bold to challenge me to a brawl?
As in, are you wanting one of these guys, like one of the soldiers, to do it, or?
He generally asks. He mainly targets the soldiers.
Well then, come on, gentlemen. Surely one of you can take him.
I will take you on in an arm wrestle.
Ooh, that was a nice voice.
What's your name, soldier?
Fuck.
Well done, fuck.
I was not thinking this far ahead. I have this voice, but I has no name.
It's too late. His name fuck now. All right, fuck.
It's pronounced fuck hey.
Fuck hey!
Right, fuck.
It doesn't make it any better.
It really doesn't. It's an unfortunate name. It is a family name.
Must have hated you.
Leans over to Squeak and says the same thing. Just poor guy. What was his parents thinking?
That's his full name now. Very well. And I will secretly start raging.
Give
Okay.
some battle cries for effect.
I'm ready for this.
He places his arm down on the table and he grasps your hand.
I will reckless attack his arm.
Roll me
Strength, is that?
strength with advantage if you are raging. He rolled a 4. So you take his arm and you grasp it and you crunch his hand and you can just see his eyes widen and the moment of and you
and just before I bring him down, Baron would just say, and now for the finish, and brings it down.
and there's just like a slight splintering on the table as you slam his hand and he just kind of wanders off clutching his arm.
Oh, such violence! Such depravity!
Admit it, you loved it.
Fucking hell. Says Squeak. Not any of the guards, that was Squeak.
All the girls says, for fuck's sake!
Oh my god!
Anyone else want to risk it?
Come on, that was the best you all had. You can all do better than that, surely.
10
Fine.
gold. 10 gold for the guy who tries and succeeds.
Ooh, who dis?
What's your name, soldier? And don't tell me fuck.
I'm balls.
Are you looking at a random generator of names?
No.
His name be Boris, please.
My name is Boris.
My name's Jeff.
Right, Boris. Are you ready?
I believe so.
So my rage is still on because it's on for a certain number of time. So hopefully this goes well. 12. He might win this one.
Boris rolls a 16.
So he wins.
So he wins.
I still try to put up a fight, but this one is too strong for me. You have earned 10 gold, my friend. Use them well.
Boris
Quench, gamble and drink.
Boris looks at the captain and back at you. Okay.
Please, someone give this man fun in life. He really needs it.
And with
My
that,
beautiful Carl, come back to the stage. I think you got more to announce.
thunderous applause as Barham leaves the stage.
I think I killed it.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, one of you managed to beat out Barham, but who next? It's either Squack, Squack, or Naffa.
Maybe Squawk and Nephrine can do a duo thing together.
It depends what Squeak is doing. What...
Squack has her. Squack has her thing.
Her thing.
Hold
I mean,
on,
if they're both doing arrow shots,
One of us goes first.
whoever kills the first other one first.
Neff's essentially just planning to trick Shot with taking
I think
arrows.
the next one. I think he'd try and. I think the next one would be Squeak, because he's thinking that if we get Squeak out of the way first, then she can possibly go stealthy and try and do some shit, or
Yeah.
snoop around or whatever. So, so our next act is the mysterious and vocally talented. Then there's a pause as he tries to think of a name which isn't going to be weird. Because I feel Squeak would be a little strange.
What was she called before?
Lila Dayscar was her human name.
That's our friend, our mysterious and vocally talented friend, Lila?
Lila.
and just imagine Geralt turning to her. Layla, Lula, who? What the fuck?
Lilo.
That was John, what my name was again. And I back away. Well, actually, no, he's just going to hang around near the front because he's probably going to get called out for a fucking assistant.
Squeak walks up to the centre of the stage and turns, "Thank you very much." And she walks to the middle of the stage, and as the applause, the polite clapping dies down, she makes the sound of polite clapping, and then turns it into thunderous applause and people laughing, and then she turns to the sound of mice squeaking. She turns to the sound of Barham snoring to great laughter. There are...
What is that hellish noise?
No, Baron suddenly thinks, it's true that my snoring does sound like a thunder.
Then she lets it go quiet for a minute, and as the applause stop and everybody just sits in silence, she makes the sounds of crickets. And then she makes the sound of a cat chasing a mouse. And then, having run out of impersonations to do, she reaches a hand inside her cloak and pulls out an empty hand, and then reveals within it a gold piece, and then flips her hand around, and in doing so it's now a silver piece and a copper piece and back again, and then the coin disappears, and then she goes over to Calderax, because apparently Calderax gets used as the assistant all the time, and pulls
I am one of the most glamorous.
Pulls the coin out from behind your ear, and then vanishes the coin again and reaches inside your reaches behind your back and pulls out the owlbear feather and squashes it into her hand, and it becomes the garnet gem she has. And then she goes and looks as if she throws it across the room, and it vanishes into a puff of smoke. And then she holds her cloak up in front of her, drops it, and she is gone.
Oh, good heavens! Where has she gone?
Baron is legit impressed on that. He's literally mouth gaped.
Like,
That was pretty good.
after a brief holy shit, he quickly rushes forward and grabs the cloak. He's like, "Wasn't it impressive, ladies and gentlemen?"
And there's just thunderous applause.
Barum will applaud as well and turn to Mal while doing so and like, fucking hell, she's more matching than you are.
Yeah. Well, all right. So, our next... Is it our last act? I hope it's not, because I know... Anyway, our next act, I don't know what Nephrin's doing.
We've gone through that Neph is essentially going to try and trick shot with Seeking Arrows.
Our next act is our Lady of Arrows. One and only Nephrin! Runs away and leaves you alone.
Good night, Tony.
Grab you before you disappear. No, as you run past her, she's grabbed you by the collar and come on, back you come. You are our favourite this evening, after all. And she will equally hand you an apple.
Oh, goodness sake.
I mean, if you didn't have any, Barum would give you one.
I think everybody's got apples in this party for some reason.
The apple. I think I'm the only one who doesn't.
Yep, stay there.
There?
Yep, that's good. So she will stand, but she is facing the wrong way with the arrow. Barum, you might want to shuffle to one side.
Barum waves and is like, oh yeah.
No. You stay right fucking there.
Do I stay right fucking there?
Make this a very impressive trick shot.
Fair.
I'm just gonna stand a bit further then.
The plan being, Neph is going to fire towards Barum. It will
Hi.
Seeking up and round, and Calderax can throw the apple in the air, and she'll catch it in the air with the arrow. Is the idea.
Okay.
That's the plan. Realistically, she'll turn back round for a second, just be like, realistically, this might take a few shots. But you know, maybe Lady Luck will be on my side, maybe Lady Luck will be on his side, and point to Cal.
Who is Timora with?
Let's see. Shame that no one worships Timora here.
It's at this point I have to wonder, what is the intelligence save on an apple?
Yeah,
An apple.
a falling apple. So yeah, there you go, have a Seeking Arrow.
Oh no, a dex save of an apple.
How dexterous are apples feeling?
Yeah, how dexterous is a sedentary object?
Nephrin reaches over her back, draws the arrow, fires it. It flies straight for Barum's face. And at the last second, it veers off course, close enough that it rustles the beard.
Goes straight up and over the ceiling.
Up, hugs the ceiling.
So I chuck the apple.
Yep.
It flies towards Calderax. And as you throw the apple up into the air, it pierces into the apple and just knocks the apple across the floor with an arrow neatly stuck through the middle of it.
Oh, my life! How miraculous!
And Neph will turn back around. It appears Lady Luck was on my side, and will just bow and then turn to wander off.
Thunderous applause. And one of the guards does pick up the apple on an arrow and just starts. It's a good apple.
That guy gets it.
He does.
I'm sure it's Boris.
No, this one's Ollie.
Well then.
And now for you to continue.
And now, how do we continue this?
For a while, we'll break into some general singing, perhaps.
It is at this point that Felratha takes out a harp and begins to play some background music. And the soldiers The soldiers return the tables to position, and cooks run back and forth from the kitchen, delivering a feast of roast meats, mushed potatoes, sauerkraut,
Memo.
cheap wine and ale, and you are all given a small table near the back of the hall.
Near the back. So,
What, back here somewhere?
Yeah, back in this corner.
I have not seen where it is. Where?
Over here.
where I am generally.
Hi.
Actually, I should also bring Eritz and Felratha.
You did quite a remarkable job, my darling.
Yeah, you're quite a good assistant.
Apparently so.
And throughout the evening, there is just a constant stream of guards coming over and offering you ale and complimenting you on the performances.
Alcohol.
They're mostly complimenting everybody's performances but Cal. But obviously, as Cal appeared in pretty much everybody's performance, you know, he does get a few drinks.
Neff will, at points, jokingly say it's a good job he threw the apple when he did. We've had, like, there's been some close mishaps, just sort of jokingly.
That's how we lost the last ringmaster. And eventually, dinner has been served, and everybody returns to their bed chambers for the evening.
Neff
continues to ponder where Squeak is.
I continue to ponder how the hell we're supposed to kill this guy. Quietly, of course.
And these guys go... Oh, no, I'm on the wrong layer. These guys go over here. Further over there. That will do. And you guys go back to this room. And basically, the deal for the minstrels is that they get safe haven in the keep, but they are locked in this room.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm going to assume Squeak is not in this room at present.
You don't see her.
Squeak will come back with all the keys of the fucking
That's not
castle.
very surprising. That's not very surprising. Currently, nobody sees.
Nobody saw that happening either.
Stolen Barham's underpants.
As I said, Squeak stole every key of every lock in the whole castle.
Fucking hell.
And about an hour into the
That
night,
was us stealing our target's pacemaker.
about an hour into the night, there's just a from the door on this side of the room. And it slowly, quietly opens. And Squeak walks in, holding a key.
Ah, it appears you've been busy.
So, we meet again. Squawk.
I count this as a victory.
Yeah.
I think we all would, mate.
I know how to have my own fun. But I need help over here.
What with?
Well, we need to find this man and kill him.
Yes.
Do you know whereabouts in the building he is?
Yes.
Okay, that is a good start.
And then she also points to Aris and points out the north door. You may want some help over there.
Oh, that's for the thing of him going back to the Underdark.
So she's suggesting that that's the way to go, and kind of looks at Squeak to get a nod or a head shake.
She points at Aris and nods. She points at the rest of you and points down to the door that she came in through.
Yeah, so we're with you. He's on his own.
Alright, Nate. Good luck.
Thank you.
Keep a low profile. There's plenty of guards around, I'm sure.
Squeak.
Stealthy as Squeak.
Squeak will head over to this door that she points at, opens it for Ares, and lets him through, and then heads across the corridor and opens another door for him, and then comes back to the rest of you guys.
Well then, let us be sneaky snacky assassin.
How much sneaking is required on a 1 to 10? Squeak. Because she knows 1 to 10.
She looks out the door, waves a hand in the air. 3 to 4.
Hmm.
3 to 4 on the stealth scale or people out there scale?
You didn't actually specify which end of the scale was good and which one was bad.
4 people.
High. Okay. I mean, do we try and stealth it? Neff's got pass without a trace.
We can always try.
Either way, I'm going to need pass without a trace.
Yeah. So Neff we will attempt stealthy.
Stealth.
Neff holds up throws up some ashes, and the shadows just cling to you guys.
That's fine. That counts as
12.
12.
Yeah.
Which is not fine.
Damn it!
I got the highest.
And Nifrin, who's the one who's casting this.
You're telling me that the guy who has to roll with disadvantage.
I was really hoping that Squeak would get a 40 and like stealth into Days After the End or something. I'm so stealthy I was in the game last Friday.
The bird appears and we all start attacking it thinking it's a weird zombie mutation.
Honestly, they would start attacking on site.
Yeah.
Neff is tactically going for not entering rooms. She's just gonna fire at people she can see.
Squeak will open the door, which apparently is enough to freeze my roll 20 at the moment. So I'm just going to open all of the doors along the route you need to go. You guys sneaky into what appears to be a kitchen. And there are a couple of commoners who are still in there. You guys still there?
Yeah.
Cool.
There we go.
My thing froze.
It just keeps freezing on me.
Yeah, same.
I was just checking that Discord hadn't similarly frozen on me. You sneak into a kitchen which is clearly not the busiest, as it is about an hour after lights out, but they are still scrubbing up bits and pieces from the meal this evening. And Squeak will lead you into the kitchen and down.
How are any of them looking ever so slightly disturbed by the door opening?
They don't seem to have noticed at all.
Okay.
Alright. Let's go sneaky.
Sneaky.
And Squeak will pull up to this door and point at it.
Bad door? Good door?
The person we want door?
Points at Neferin.
Okay.
The person we want wants somewhere to sleep for night.
The person we want wants somewhere to sleep.
And they've chosen this room, I assume.
Yes.
Oh,
Is it just them? Do we
No.
think? Many? Numbers?
One other.
Ah, okay.
Captain.
Oh god, the captain.
Oh,
That makes sense. Cal getting through the door. Well, plan.
Squeak pulls out a dagger. Kill him.
Technically, I would think it may be possible we could take them both relatively easy, but I don't really want to kill a captain if we don't have to.
I don't care.
Squeak looks from dagger to Barham. Dagger. Great sword. Kill him.
See?
Yes, but we've been hired to kill the Lord, not the captain of this barracks.
Yeah, unfortunately he chose to stay with the Lord, so... Unless you have an idea to make him go away or completely forget what's going to happen here, and him not screaming...
When nothing goes right, go left.
That makes no sense, but I like it.
Could we use a harmless sensory effect of some kind to wake one of them so that perhaps they come outside and we can deal with them in the hallway?
You could attempt that, but a harmless sensory effect. What are you thinking?
I don't know, just like... What options have I got in the list of things? I'd wondered whether just to use like a puff of wind or something to wake up the guy that we want. And draw his attention some way. Like maybe the door will be slightly open so he thinks to get up and close it, because it's weird sleeping with the door open. But it's a general idea thrown out to people, not a that's what I'm going to do.
Just trying to see if there's anything I've got.
Squeak
He
will
messaged in his sleep.
Squeak will look from dagger to door, shrugs. Technically, Nephrin is leader.
yeah, you're calling the shots here, mate.
Yes, but leaders often talk through things with the people they work with before a final decision is made. Any other particularly spell-skilled people? Got any ideas?
I don't really have anything that can...
Would you like a wafer thin meat?
I mean, I would.
Not right now.
If they slap you, slap them fucking back.
Can you stop saying random phrases?
Well, we could always... I mean, are the guys completely asleep in there?
You look through the door. Yeah, they are asleep right now.
We could maybe knock out the captain?
We could hold him. There was that spell, wasn't there?
With inquiry. With silence.
Yes.
Does the person within the area of silence not hear anything?
Let me look.
No sound created within pass through 24 radius sphere.
Yeah, no sound created within or pass coming. So yeah, anyone entirely within the sphere would be deafened.
So I could place the silence on the captain, which means he wouldn't hear anything. He might get jostled awake by movement and things like that, but
But as long as we stay away from him.
as long as we stay away from him, and as long as we stealthily go in there and just fucking own this guy.
That sounds like a decent plan. Everyone
And
in
then
agreement?
if he does wake up, we either hold person and can book it, or we take him out if necessary. But I don't really want to do it if it's not necessary.
Like this
Squeak.
plan.
Yes.
Squeak pulls out the dagger. Kill him. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Careful stabbing this man.
Yeah, you are very violent today.
If they slap you, slap them fucking back.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Cool.
So,
In the words of Squeak, let's do this.
So silence the captain, and then we go in and try and kill the lord.
Yep.
I think so. Yeah.
So I leans around the corner.
I'm gonna send Squeak in for the first stealth stab.
I'll just make sure I'm. Yeah, it's 120 feet, so yeah. I can easily do it from here. So
Okay. That is a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose. I'm assuming the point you choose is the captain.
Can you get them both in 20 foot?
I could technically.
They are currently both just within 20 foot.
So
Yeah,
technically.
go for it.
So yeah, why not?
So let me take it
Does
off
that
the
mean he doesn't
captain.
make noise while he's dying?
That is true. It's going to be some horrible silent.
I will bring, for point of being the center point, everybody's favorite, the commoner.
You should make a special counter that is the commoner token that's used for everything.
I just have that in the name.
You should just have it as the normal commoner token, but just have like googly eyes on it or something.
Squeak would sneak inside stealthily, but I mean, one, they're already pretty stealthy, and two, they don't make any noise right now. And
Barham can just swan around in there in the complete silence.
will sneak attack with, let's go with a short sword. Except no noise.
Well then.
Well then.
Enjoy that, dead man.
So
Bloody hell.
14 and 30. 13 total.
40, 30 plus
30
40,
for the sneak and 14.
44.
Yeah. How's he looking?
8
Dead.
points left.
Oh, someone get in there and quickly kill him.
So she then takes her second action.
Oh,
she
well,
takes-
never mind.
I'm
She
just gonna
takes-
assist. I'm just gonna look at it because this is fun.
She takes bonus action and stabs down with the dagger and misses.
Well, that's less. Excuse me.
She looks round to you. You see her beak move. You mouth moves.
I'm gonna rage silently.
I mean, you can rage as loud as you like as long as you're in that space.
Yeah.
You guys looking in just see his neck, like veins pop. He's screaming, but no sound is coming out.
That's what I mean. I'm raging, but silently. I'm gonna reckless attack with my Warhammer two-handed for a 17.
That. Actually, I'm going to say, because he's in his PJs, that will hit.
You've seen these jammies and everything, and that is more than 8.
That is 1 point more than he had.
His head falls off.
I was more aiming for crushing the head in.
His
with the
head
Warhammer.
becomes crushed in. His head is no longer functional. We'll go with that.
And that's a trophy for me.
Are you leaving the body here?
I turn to the others and I say, "Are we leaving the body here?" But they just see me mouthing
I
words.
will message you, and I say yes, because it will frame the other guy.
What other guy?
The captain.
The captain.
Squeak will point at the bloody warhammer and then point at the captain.
I'm not leaving my warhammer with him.
Then dab his weapon in it. Find whatever weapon he has, and, like, smear it in his blood.
Fine.
Fuck up, we can just kill him too.
I mean,
Squeak
Squeak's doing it because I can't.
Squeak coats the guy's blood in the. What did he have?
Such great noises.
Oh, the battle axe of Captain Helk
It's all squelchy.
is just like smushed around in the what used to be the head of First Lord Torin Normathal.
And if possible... No, don't risk it, don't risk it. I was gonna say try and, like spatter him in some blood as well.
I mean, we could put some brain near him, like on his pillow, so that if he rolls over at night, he will roll over his brains.
Like, put it on his bedding so then he'll, like, as he rolls around in sleep, he'll get covered in it.
I will give Squeak some of Lord Torin's crushed brain.
Squeak takes it at arm's length and just like, ew, ew, ew.
I thumbs up the Squeak and say, "It's fine."
Alright, let's go.
And then you guys leave.
Ah, we did it!
They'll bounce!
I think that is probably the most smoothest and successful mission we've done so far.
It's not finished. We're not out completely.
Yes, we are.
Here we are. Oh, look at the castle. Nice.
I figured we'd come back to the castle for this.
We fucking legged it to the castle then. Oh, the police! They found us.
You guys, make your way back to, first of all, to Elventree, whereupon you,
Go. It's done.
you say to, Elenil and, Vajra,
I'm glad we had the same thought, my friend.
First Lord, what was his name? That it is done, and that the First Lord has been replaced. And that,
First Lord's been demoted.
it is... and they agree that they have somebody ready to be, put in place, and that...
Squeak, you coming in?
Oh, yeah. Where is Squeak? All the way over there. And that now Vajra is going to be travelling back to Waterdeep. And,
Give me your fucking money!
and they, travel back with you and ask if they can spend the night in your keep on the way back to Waterdeep, which is about a week or so's travel from here.
Silver party!
Well, of course you can.
Oh, don't you fucking dare.
I mean, we're slightly short on beds, so Mal and Cal might have to.
We'll have to just share
We're
mine.
not sharing the fucking bed. They can sleep on the couches.
Yeah, we have couches.
It goes perfectly with my butt.
Yeah, you like it.
It fits perfectly with the numbers, though. Can't deny it.
And the following morning,
Little fuck you.
when Barham Barham, you are prepared. You are prepared this morning, Barham, to carry on to Waterdeep.
for the
Yep.
big dick energy. No, sorry.
Bajra leaves Caldrax's room.
Barham, you are prepared to carry on with your journey.
So he will come down to. He will actually come down before Nephrin in the dining room, and just wait for everyone to come.
Okay, okay.
And so he would have like bags and a few packages ready. His horse would have been saddled already, etc. Right, so most of you know what's gonna happen now. I think everyone knows except you, Cal.
I see a bunch of bags, that's all I see.
Wait, you didn't tell him?
No.
That's fine, I know how it is. Bye!
He just looks at Caldrax leaving in like, well, okay then.
Well, you're going now? I thought it'd be longer.
It's a pressing matter, and I mean, I would have loved to tell Caldrax about it, but with the preparation of all the killing and stuff, I didn't see the time. Plus, I wanted to tell him while we prepared the show, but you kept yelling at him for not playing the flute right.
Oh.
So, yeah, I must be going really, and the others are also going towards the deep, so might as well go in one big group.
Squeak looks very upset, and then looks at Vajra and nods an acceptance to Vajra for a previously unnoticed deal that must have been made throughout the night. And Vajra waves the black staff, and before your eyes, Squeak shifts back into her human form. And before you is stood in Squeak's normal clothing, a pale girl with long brown hair. Maddie? You are in the dining hall.
Okay, let me just zoom out a bit.
Yeah, Cal's gonna come out like, what the
and wait for
And whose fault that?
and
And-
I just need to wait for the map to load.
Before Squeak
Jesus.
says anything since changing, Neff will go, should I go get Cal?
Yeah, it would help.
Barroom doesn't know how to respond, so
Question. I can
Yes.
only see the top part of the map. Like, I can see the bedrooms and the towers. I can't see the dining room. Oh. I just didn't zoom out enough.
It's a very big map.
Okay. That makes more sense. So before I continue, also question.
Continue.
Since Squeak is polymorphed, does she still have her regular voice, like her mimicking voice, or does she have like some random voice?
No, whenever Squeak mimics, she mimics in that person's voice.
So
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 now you would have
I-
Squeak's voice.
Which is just mouse squeaks.
So that's whatever you have. You have a
brand
new voice.
You do Irish.
So I have all of Squeak's phrases, but it's in her own voice? Question mark?
No, you as a human can just speak.
Yeah.
Oh, okay then. Beautiful. That's lovely.
I'm. What? 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 Mouse is very confused.
She looked like she needed to say this herself,
Yeah.
says the black
Yes, I know.
staff.
Who's that?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna head outside. Ready the
Right.
wagons.
That's Squeak.
Hey, Caldrax.
No,
how's it
seriously, who's
going?
that?
That's Squeak?
No, I said seriously, who?
Hey, Cal. Polymorph. That's the thing.
Oh my god, your voice is adorable.
Yeah. You know, it
You
really
don't sound
sucks.
French Scottish. I love it.
You got an accent too. Fuck you.
Look, I honestly, really, I appreciate all the phrases you guys have given me.
Wait. Please say greatsword.
Great sword.
Oh
Look,
my
I
God.
can't.
I love you so much.
Look, unlike Barum, I still can't. Well, technically, when I'm in my normal form, I can roll the R's because I'm mimicking. Look, it's all a confusing concept. Honestly, being a Genku kinda sucks. But that's besides the point. That's not why I transformed. There's a much more important reason as to why I did. So, now for context purposes, because I joined the stream like half. Does Squeak know about Barum
Yes.
going off? Because that's
Yeah.
kind of like.
Me, don't know.
But he wanted to tell you, but
But you
now
fucking didn't you? Anyway, you were saying that.
telling you.
Anyways. Okay. So I had like this whole thing planned. Like she goes to her bag and she pulls out like a freaking. I had this letter written because I thought I would literally have to pass this around the room to you each and have you just each read the section I designated to you. But after meeting Blackstaff and finding out what he's capable of, I figured she's capable of. I figured it would be better to use, air quotes, my voice, so to speak. So yeah. So, I guess this whole first bit of the letter being like, you know how you have no idea how much I wish I could say this, blah blah blah. Mimicry is a heartless bitch. Okay, yeah, let's just forget. I did not plan for this, but anyway. So basically, with Barum leaving, I feel it would be best if I traveled with him. Now, it hurts me to go, but I wouldn't be doing the right thing if I didn't, because in my many years of traveling on my own, because being a Kenku, a lot of people are kind of scared of you. It's lonely and it's sad and it's a dangerous road. And after traveling with you guys for so long, I've realized that it's better to travel with company. And you guys aren't all just the people I travel with. You guys are my friends. But realistically, like I know I give off the whole like, oh, positive, we're gonna be together forever vibes. But I knew that wasn't gonna be realistic because I know we all have lives outside of this and we all have goals, aspirations that we want to attain. And I knew that ultimately that would be what would separate us. And I also made the promise to myself that if any of you had chose to leave and do whatever that goal is, or if one of you had to leave for whatever reason, I would accompany that individual. It didn't matter which one it was. It could have been Nephrin, it could have been Barum, it could have been Caldorax, it could have been Malzare, it could have been any of you. But I would have gone along with you. Because of the aforementioned point. And also, ultimately, I knew if I had to, I would one day leave on my own. Because I have my own. And it's kind of silly and probably impossible. But gestures to self. I would like to break this curse of mine. Like, you know, like back in old stories about Kenkus and stuff, like how we came to be, we pissed off a god and we were made into these weird bird humanoid people who can only mimic and can't fly, and all that loveliness that comes. And I know that that's something that is going to take a very long time to actually happen, if it does happen. And I didn't want to burden any of you with it, so to speak. So I know that this isn't going to be the last time that we see each other, but even still, I wanted to each give you something to remember me by. And first, she will walk up to Malzere. Malzere, you've usually been pretty nice to me, although sometimes I can get a bit annoying, so whenever you snap at me, I kind of get why. I also don't fully understand why you like to wear dresses when you perform, but it seems to make you happy, so that makes me happy. And since I'm sure you'll be doing more of that in the future, you should always have a statement piece to wear on special occasions. And then she goes into her bag, and let me just make sure I still have this. I think I still have this. I'm pretty sure I still have this.
What? Oh my god.
She pulls out, I can't remember what adventure it was on, but we found like an emerald necklace or something. She pulls that out and she gives it to Malzere.
Oh my god!
And so she gives it to Malzere.
He just looks... He's smiling, but you can tell he just looks kind of heartbroken.
And then Squeak says, "Wear it with flair, Malzere, and I hope you someday finally get your own apple orchard." And then she gives you a hug.
He kisses you on the cheek and hugs you. And he just whispers to you, "Are you sure about this?"
I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't sure.
Alright. That's fair.
And then she goes up to Calderak.
Oh, so sad.
Just you wait. Calderax. We've had some good times together. You taught me some fabulous phrases that I'm sure I will continue to use later on. And we've also had some rough times, like that time I had to literally bust down your door in that hotel to make sure you were okay. And I couldn't properly get the words across until I realized I could just mimic everything that you said to me. But besides the... so yeah. There was also that time that you mock proposed to me with that ring of protection, and that was quite shocking to me. And then she takes off the ring and hands it to Calderax, but it was also very... And while I'm flattered that you see me in such a light and all my normally black and feathery birdie gloriness, I know that deep down your heart will belong to someone else someday. And when you meet them, you can give them this ring. So it can protect them. But at the end of the day, I know that that ring won't even measure to the amount of love and protection you will give to your future companion.
Well, thank you. And just to say, in your birdie feathery glory, you're pretty cute.
She will blush at that, and then she will give Calderax a hug.
I will hug back.
And then she goes up to Nephrin. Nephrin, I don't even know where to begin. You're much like the sister I never got to have. You've helped me so much along the way, be it with teaching me actually helpful phrases, or or teaching me how to use the crossbow. And plus, it's been nice having another girl around. No offense to any of you guys, you are all lovely, but sometimes I need girl time. I cannot stress that. Anyways, now, I've already made you a friendship bracelet, and that means we're sisters for life, no matter how far apart we are. But I figured we should also add a necklace into the mix. And then she goes into her bag, and the little garnet gem that she used in her performance yesterday, she's like kind of crafted it. She's like put a wire through it to make it into kind of like a necklace. And she gives it to Nephrin. Now, whenever you look at this crystal, I want you to think of me. And then she also turns her crossbow bolt bag. I'm assuming they're in a bag. But she shows the bag to you, and you can see that your name is like kind of stitched into the bag. And whenever I fire a bolt, I will remember my wise sister from another mister who taught me to do so.
It's been lovely getting to know you. Difficult at times, but I'm glad that I've been able to help as much as I could, and I hope that the skills we've learnt together will serve you well.
And then she gives Nephrin a hug, and she says, I know they will. And then she goes up to Barum. Okay, Barum, there's only a simple way to say that. You're my best friend. You've made me laugh and smile, as much as a bird can anyways. And you, along with Nephrin, also did everything in your power to save mine and Malzare's lives. And I will be eternally thankful for that. And although I'm going with you, I felt like getting you something as well. Just
I
in
mean, you
case
don't have
there's-
to, you know.
I know, but I wanted to. Just in case there is a day that I'm not with you. But, pulls out from her bag, she gives you like this, you know how you have the spiky armor? She gives you like a spiky, like, thing that you would wear on your knuckles. It's like a set of rings, and they just got spikes.
A collar.
That. Whatever the heck that is. No, not a collar. Wait, no.
Like knuckle
It's got a
dusters.
spiked pendant on it, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, and she gives that to you, and she's like, your spiky armor does you a lot of good, but I know you also pack a mean punch as well. So now you can hug people and clock them in the head at the same time.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
And then she
Thank you.
turns to like, thank you, and she gives Barum a hug, carefully around his spiky arm. And then she turns to all of you, and she just says, you are all wonderful individuals who I'm happy to have met and got the privilege to know. And even though I'm leaving you, I'm always going to be with you, and I know you will always be with me. And most importantly, I love you all more than words can say.
Keep each other safe, and be careful what you do with that smile. It's powerful.
And she smiles, because she actually properly can. And she's like, I promise. And behind her back, she's got her fingers crossed.
Well, well now my departure speech is going to suck because I didn't prepare anything really. But yeah, basically what she said. Okay, Mal, come here.
Goes over.
When I met you, you were a twat.
No, you're still a twat.
You're annoying, you were super arrogant. You thought you could beat everything, and that got you killed.
Yeah, I got a point.
But you learned. And you learned from the best. Just Nephrin, not me. But you learned, and now I must say that you're very impressive in your own way. You're, I know you don't like being called a GOAT,
Uh-huh.
but you're the best of the GOATs.
I like the idea that Barham learnt to spell goat specifically for that.
He spent the whole night on it.
Learned to spell goat specifically so he didn't have to say it anymore.
I love it.
And, well, I wanted to give you something as well.
It's a goat bracelet.
You remember that, that sword that we got? The Talon sword.
Yeah?
It's of no use to me, really. It's just another sword for all the swords in the world. And I've got a better sword than Talon anyway. I've got Malzirez. But, yeah. You could use that sword, and you're good with one. So, and he unbelts and unfasten the belt of the Talon sword and present it to you. So, it's better for you, really.
You sure?
Fucking take it before I change my mind.
Alright. Well, we kind of spoke about the whole goodbye thing the other day, but I mean, I want to give you something too. He reaches into his pocket and he pulls out the orc tooth that he got on their first adventure together and gives it to you. I know it's a bit weird by itself, but I guess you could fashion it into a necklace or something.
Oh my god. This is amazing. This is an all new kind of trophy I don't have. And he tries to find a way to put it on the belt and kind of ties it with hair. And got like on the belt, got a lock of hair with one tooth.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
Oh, I almost forgot. And he gestures the bracelet made of Squeak's feather and Malzired's lock of hair. And he he's gonna start collecting teeth. He kind of take off the bracelet and separate the two, and he puts your lock of hair on the Talon handle.
Aww.
Hey, that way you remember what happens when you get a bit too uncareful.
Yeah, I think that's valid.
And please, for the love of everything that's holy, like Calderix's god, don't let your problem become too much of a problem, if you see what I mean. Wink, wink.
Well, I'll see to it when it comes then.
Stand up. Be a man.
Be a man. Yeah. I'll
And take Calderix for a drink, for fuck's sake.
Now let's get down to business to defeat.
That's good. And he kind of reaches to you as if to give you, like, not a high five, you know, kind of like when bros kind of like do a whatever it's called, hand grab thing. That. I do that with you.
He smiles and then he kind of like grabs you and ruffles the hair, messes the hair a lot.
Yeah, he accepts this ruffle.
Yeah. Cal.
Oh, sorry. I'm worried now.
Okay. I know I deserve you. I deserve to be. You are right to be pissed on this, but I wanted to tell you that Marjorie kept yelling at you for all the reasons of you not playing the flute right. So, never really got the time the last few days. But, you're, how do I say that? You're the fanciest man I've ever met.
I'm pretty fancy.
And you're also a very, very, very good fighter. Despite having no fucking strength. But you fight with other things. And without you, we wouldn't have made it. You're a better fighter than me on that regard, actually.
Okay.
Also, a few squats could be good. Yeah, a few squats for you could be good.
I'll work on the whole strength thing, okay?
And but I wanted to give you something as well. And he picks out a river stone. When I left my home to, adventures and all, I picked that stone, and it was like a reminder of home and everything. Honestly, I don't remember why I picked it really, but it's been with me for the entire journey. I don't know if it does anything specific. It might be just a fucking rock, but to me, it's the rock that's seen the whole fucking continent. And with you, I think it could see way more. More country, more adventures, and more stories to tell. Gives you the Riverstone.
I shall accept the Riverstone. I shall accept the Riverstone.
Maybe he'll accept the Riverstone.
I might accept the Riverstone.
Well, after you accept the Riverstone, he will grab Caldrax by the collar and kind of make him lean towards him. And he's like, "Man is so into you. Just go for it."
Would Neff have overheard that?
From there?
Neff would have. I'm not sure Mal and Squeak would have, but
I have a passive of 11 as no.
I think I know, but we'll see what happens.
No buts. There has been too many buts already.
I will explore that.
You will explore his butt?
No, I don't mean that. I mean, I will.
Just buy him something nice.
If he's willing, and he wants that, then we'll see.
Just buy something nice for an evening, and you'll see. And he lets Caldrax go and gestures like he wants to shake his hand.
Shakes his hand.
And then he will turn to Nephrin.
I'll go do your super secret mission that I don't know about.
So, Neff. You're the only one here who managed to fight the orcs with me. And, that creates special bonds.
Yeah, that was quite a moment.
You're not really an elf. You're like the best of the elves.
Oh, thank you.
You're like a dwarf elf. But, yeah. So I thought a lot about what I could give you, because, what is that you might want to use? And, honestly, I don't know anything about elf culture. So, I thought about dwarven culture. And, well, on all the things that weren't insulting to your culture, there was only one thing I could think of. And he takes out a floppy hat. A moth-eaten floppy hat. That's the first thing I took out of my home when I left. Well, that and he takes out a moth-eaten silk scarf. And, Well, he's been with me for the old adventures. It's kept me pretty safe from chills and all, and I know you go a lot in nature, so you might actually want to keep chill away from you. And, you know, that's dwarven made. That's dwarven culture right there. Might not be super pretty, but it works. You can see that Barham is like desperate to find something that could interest you.
Neff just grins and says, "I'm sure it will come in handy. I'm bound to be back out in the woods at some point.
And
I'll make sure to have it with me."
With a bit of stitches here and there, you could take off the mouth of holes, I think.
Yeah,
And,
she'll turn it upside down and have a look at it. Yeah, might even be able to make this waterproof. Yeah.
And yeah, plus floppy hat for your ears. It's gonna be an interesting sight.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll figure it out.
You make sure that these two are safe, okay?
Yeah, I'll try.
And that they don't kill each other.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. And glances at the pair of them.
I smile innocently.
Yeah.
But I'm sure one day, Neff, we'll meet again, and well, this time I'll have to see you with a floppy hat on your face, and that'll make me laugh. But
yeah, I'm sure I'll hear you laughing before I spot you.
probably. I'm already laughing just as thinking of it. But yeah, Squeak was right for the whole thing. Really, you were the leader of all of this.
Well, someone has to be, and these two can't make decisions, so, you know.
I can make decisions, but apparently it's only dumb ones, so...
No, you've had some pretty good decisions in there.
Yeah, slapping Basil was one.
Hey.
Love you.
I mean, honestly, I would have stepped up and taken the leader role, but leaders need communication. I lacked it.
Yeah. Neff will wander around here and open one of the drawers in the units and pull out a small keg and hand it to you.
Really?
Since I knew you were leaving, I thought you might need something for your travels. I headed back to our lovely orchard friend, and he'd just had some cider made. I hear it's a particularly good one, so I thought you might like it.
Honestly, if he makes a cider as good as his apples, it's bound to be fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I hear it's one of the best ones he's had in years, so fingers crossed. And she'll wander over to Squeak, and in a green fabric pouch that she gives to Squeak, there is a fire starting kit. And she just says, "It's not served me particularly well, but hopefully it can serve you better. I've fixed it up a bit since when I last had it. And it's all stitched and things around the outside of the fabric to be as pretty as possible. It's maybe not what I would have given you had I had more time, but fitting nonetheless."
Squeak just gives Nephrin another hug, and she just says, "I'm gonna start all the fires with this kit."
Hopefully...
In a good way, not in a pyromaniac way.
The black staff leans in. Could you maybe keep that out of the city of Waterdeep? Just
Or the fucking house we're going to.
Hopefully, if you find yourself in the dark, it will help you.
I will always put it to good use.
Balram will turn to Caldrax and say, "So, we'll be going to Waterdeep and staying there at my cousin's place. Here's the address in case you want to reach me."
Cool. Hold on, I just need to quickly ask John something secretly.
One, I don't know how Street Raps works in Waterdeep Road.
It's fine.
Yes.
Just
In which case, he's going to quickly go, take the address quickly. One moment. One moment, and runs back to his room. Rummages. Where are they? And he comes running back.
well, that was odd.
Well, I didn't have enough time to plan what I could possibly give you. So I gotta work with what I've got. And hands both Squeak and Barham symbols of Kalimvor.
Aww.
How do you write that down? How do you spell Kalimvor?
I believe it's Kelemvor, I believe.
Okay, noted.
Really, I try to highlight everything else, and I managed to delete everything. I managed to delete Kalimvor, not anything. No, Kalimvor. No, I think it's Kalimvor.
That is Kalimvor, yes.
I got it close.
Just
Kill him, Vor!
and may he watch over your path.
Yay!
I'm sure he will. When you're not there to watch over me, then your boss needs to.
He does.
I'm sure
And-
he will keep us very safe.
He shall.
He kind of whispers to Karax, remember the page on your book.
Squeak, you remember page 22.
Page 22.
Page 22, I don't know what page 22 has to do with.
We'll explain it to you after, Maddie.
Okay.
Put it to good use, okay?
It's page 22. I shall.
Right, I think you guys will be all fine without me, and Squeak. You have your followers, you have yourselves, you have Nephrine, so, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
Right, I think it's that time to go.
I would agree.
Journey safely.
You got your bags packed, Squeak?
Yes, I do.
Runs to wave
Okay.
him goodbye.
I have everything packed. Although, just don't be freaked out if in like, say, 27 minutes I transform back. This thing isn't permanent.
No! Oh, come on!
That's a shame.
I thought it was
would've
like a cute little true polymorph thing.
Unfortunately, even the Black Staff is not high enough level to cast True Polymorph yet.
That's a shame. I would have really loved taking you out for a drink like this.
That's not to say that the Black Staff can't cast Polymorph again.
This is also very true. She'll say, well, she could always cast it again, and then I'd have another hour.
How long does it take to remove Barham's armor?
It's heavy armor, so I think about 10 minutes.
I think he would not have taken it as immediately as he woke up, so he would be without armor right now. And so he would crush hug Malzurek.
Crush Hug's back.
And he would go and do the same to Nephrine. Although he would probably crush her up, but
I can't breathe.
I think his nose is around the belly button of Nephrine.
Yeah, she will hug back, but you can tell it's a bit like it's just unusual for her. She doesn't hug much.
Awkward pat on back.
Yeah, like you're really, really short. Okay.
You're tall. You're the weird one.
Yeah, I know.
And he counteracts.
And tackles him.
Tackle hug. And then he throw to his horse and go on it and wave at the others while Squeak do her thing.
Squeak would give each one of you each another hug before hurrying off. I'm telling you this now. I am determined. This is not the last you will see of Squeak.
This will not be the last time.
Although, depending on how things go, might have a different name by then. We shall see.
I shall be Squawk.
Yes, I will change it by a letter.
It is Squeak 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Alright. Maybe. I don't know. Lila Dayscar has a nice ring to it. If no one has that name, maybe I'll return as her. But either way, safe travels to you all. And she will get on her horse, and she will follow along with Barum.
Will you wave? Will I wave at least?
And she waves.
Yes, Neff will wave too.
Waves to.
Barum turns his horse to the rest of the team and says to Malzire, start collecting hair. I want to see how many kills you have next time I see you.
I'll fashion it into a quill or something then.
Whatever. And he starts riding his horse away from the fortress. And as he goes away, he will sing the song of Malzire that
that's
he
why you
made
said
of the team. Yes.
Alright, hang on, let me get the...
I don't remember at all what kind of song you did and how was the music, but fuck it.
Yeah, just make up your own tune. Shit, where's your message thing? There it is. If it would send... There it is.
It's a Google Doc.
Oh wait, shit,
Oh my god.
You need permission to see it. Hang on, I need to share it properly.
Yeah, that could be actually very helpful.
Sorry, I forgot I didn't share it with anyone. Okay, share the link. There we go. What is this link? Yeah, go.
Okay. Nephrine is the leader, she knows her way about. And Barum is the root with Bron who gave your head a clout. Quick is here and then she's there, so keep your eyes fixed. And Carterize never liked, he'll give you ones a fix. When bees begin to bother you, you charge into the scrap. But when you all begin to fall, it all turns a bit crap. We have a solution here to brighten up the day. You gotta perk up, listen up, suck it up and do it my way. My way, my way, my way, my way, my way, my way. And for the rest of him being in earsight, in earshot, you just hear my way, my way.
I'm just scream laughing at that.
I wonder if he's going to be singing that the entire way to Waterdeep.
Wouldn't put it past him.
Ouch.
For a week.
Sure, he'll learn the melody eventually.
Pray for Squeak.
He's got a drink, so he can at least soothe his throat. He's gonna need it.
Yeah. I hope he looks after her.
You know he will.
You see, he just looks really sad. Well, he's trying to put a brave face on.
Puts hand on shoulder. It'll be fine.
I know, but I was really starting to like her. You know.
Oh.
I mean, I thought it was silly, you know, because Kenku and all. But yeah.
That's silly, really.
Yeah, but what can you do? Plenty more fish in the sea, right? Oh, birds in the sky in this case.
There'll be others.
I've got something I need to tell you.
Oh.
I thought Barum told you what he told you.
No, no one told me anything.
Yeah, he told me not to tell anyone. I didn't realize he never told you. But since I could clearly tell you were not very happy that no one told you.
Well, it's nothing really. It's just the fact of, you know, being part of a group is kind of a good thing to know such things as people leaving.
Yeah, about that, I might as well, be honest.
You're leaving too, aren't you? I fucking knew it.
What? No. It's not about me leaving, it's about who's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Morks wants to see me.
Okay.
And I told him he can come as long as nothing bad happens. Yeah.
Okay.
You're not mad at me?
Why would I be mad at you?
Well, because it's Morks.
And he has every reason to dislike me.
He just wants to talk with me about things, you know, catch up. And stuff.
Well, I have no right to tell you not to see your brother. So... it's fine.
Yeah. Neff, you don't mind being peacekeeper if things go down the plug, do you?
Oh, yeah, I'll try.
Okay, thanks, because, I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know... Well, I know in part how he feels. But I haven't seen him for, like, almost half a year now, or so? So I don't know.
The castle's fairly big. I'm sure you could keep them apart until you've got a slightly better idea of what's going on. At least from that side of things.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna need the space.
Besides, the 2 rooms upstairs are now free, so...
That they are.
Can even have a different floor.
Yeah, that's what I like about this castle.
Floor.
Not only is there more than one room, there's more than one floor. That's pretty cool. Goes back in. Poor boy's been raised in a fucking shed. So what now, voice in sky?
The rest of the week passes fairly quietly. The feast of the moon comes and goes. I wait for typing to finish.
My way,
At the start of the next week, which is at the beginning of Nightle, the last month of the year, you receive a return letter from Morks.
From Morks?
Yes.
What does it say?
He explains that travelling during the coldest month of the year is not sensible, and that he would love to visit your castle, but he will be doing it at the start of next year.
Oh, alright.
This means that you have a month or so to prepare for his arrival.
Hey, Carl!
Hmm?
So good news, we've got time to prepare. We can write a script about all the nice things we're gonna say when he's here.
No amount of nice things are going to stop him from not liking me.
Well, we can draft a list of small talk
And
that you
also,
two
it's not
have.
going to stop him from not wanting me here, and not wanting you near me, and all that kind of shiz.
Okay, right, let's put it this
So
way.
I think probably best thing to do is if I just go away like a week or two.
Alright.
What?
Listen. If he really didn't want me here with you, he would have come much sooner. I told him almost straight away that we were traveling together. And admittedly, the first few months he couldn't do much because he was stuck on an island, but after that, he still didn't come.
Missed
He
that one
still
for the mute.
wants me here as soon as he's sleeping.
Look, I know what he said during the case, but he's not. He doesn't really. Well, he does get angry, but he doesn't really get angry anymore. He gets more. You know what Morgs is like? That kind of look he gives you when he's like not angry, but just really, really disappointed. That look.
Nope. He'll be gone. And he'll want me gone for good.
Well, I won't let him.
It's probably best if I just go during that time.
Listen, in any other circumstance, I would have agreed, but I had no idea you two were childhood friends. If there was something there, I ruined that.
You did nothing of the sort.
It did. You know I did.
I did nothing. You did nothing of the sort. I ruined. So he has every right to hate me. You had every right to dislike me too.
Maybe just give it a chance. Besides, I'd appreciate it if people were here. It's he's a bit difficult to talk to now.
I'll be here.
Just smile, like you always do.
Not of good that'll do, but okay.
Well, it's a starting point, alright?
walks inside. Runs into his room. Back to the bed.
So we've got a month.
Yep.
Can you just whisper something to Sean real quick?
What? I do not know what you may wish to speak of.
Secrets are occurring.
By the way, Sean, don't let this stop you from doing anything.
The whole whispery thing has completely broken.
I can't believe.
Okay.
Looks at clock. Alright, do you want to?
Yes.
Okay. John, are you okay? Are you okay for us, like, really quickly to play something out?
Go for it. We've
So-
got about 5 minutes or so.
I guess in the middle of that month. Do you think they'd go out? Like, do you think they'd drink here, or would they drink in a tavern somewhere?
There would probably be a tavern nearby.
Then
Up to you, Sean.
I do not mind.
Let's do it at a tavern. Just say they're at a tavern drinking.
Fair enough. We go to a tavern. We go to a nice tavern. We have a nice drinky blue.
Let me just see how drunk I get. Let me roll it. Yeah. That was about what I was expecting.
Calderax, do you want to make a constitution save as well?
I don't think he'd be drinking to excess.
Okay.
So he'd just might be drinking a little bit.
Within his limits.
Like you know, one glass of wine would take him about an hour and a half. That kind of thing.
So, as they're drinking, Mal just finishes a cup, and he's not like drunk, but he's just kind of tipsy, and he's just like, well, I should probably go.
Need help getting home?
Oh, no. I'm fine. Besides, you've got the night to yourself now.
I do, but... You're going back to the castle this late?
Well, I'll be fine. I mean, you can just do what you always do. Come on, tell me your charm. You haven't been with a girl for ages now.
No, but... No one really here I like, really.
You've been saying that the last 20 times we've been here.
Well, I know, I mean... Being perfectly frank, I've gotten through a few of them.
Well... okay. Maybe I won't walk back. I'm way too tired.
Well... So you're just gonna get a room at the inn? Because I'm not really feeling the walk back.
Oh, fuck it, why not? Oh, I'm gonna have a hangover tomorrow. Can you shut the fuck up?
Well... I mean... We can, you know, share if you want.
Oh, what if it's cheaper? Fucking why not?
Yes, I gathered you'd go for cheaper. Anyway, come on, let's get a room.
And deliberately knock over glass as they go to said room. Not the wheels. Look, it was either we do it in the castle so Neff has to listen, or we go to a tavern and do this.
Opposite sides, different floors. How loud were you planning on being?
How loud do you think they can be?
Not that loud.
His Calderites and
Being perfectly frank, we're both tieflings.
Yes, but
Very awkward.
really, really not that loud for a freaking
So-
castle.
They go into said room, and Mal kind of just sits on the edge of the bed, just kind of like trying to steady his head a bit.
You have drunk a lot more than you let on, haven't you?
What? No, I'm fine.
You're not fun.
It's just a mix of tired. It's nothing.
Really?
Mm.
I'm pretty worried.
Why do you always use that stupid voice with me?
Because I don't know, it's fun.
Yeah, you are a lot of fun, Cal. Well, I don't tell you that enough.
I can be a lot more fun.
How?
How do you think?
I don't know, magic trick. He's just like completely oblivious.
Yes, magic tricks.
Just pulls out a deck of cards.
Pick a card. So. That sits on bed as well. So, are you taking the bed, or do you want to take the? I mean, I'll take that chair over there if you.
Whatever works for you, mate. I mean, I could sleep on the floor. I've slept on a hard mattress all my life.
Well, I won't want you doing that.
Well, I mean, we can share the bed, but we'll have to squish right to the edge.
I don't think you'd want that, really.
I mean, it was no different than when I shared it with Morgs.
It's a little different.
Although in the winter times we did cuddle a lot. Oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. No, yeah, that was the thing that we did, because it got cold a lot.
Huh. I'll remember that. He is coming around after all. Give me a laugh.
Yeah, but that was when, you know...
Give me a laugh. Let me have my fun with him.
It's pretty cold in here, isn't it?
It's you chilly then?
A little bit.
No, you won't get that one, will you?
You just... Sometimes you don't make sense. What is this all about?
What's what all about?
Why do you keep looking at me like that?
Like what?
You looking at me as though you're really interested or something. You got that little, I'm discovering something here, I'm thinking about something here look. You know the look we always get whenever we're looting stuff and all that.
Well, you're in here, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but I'm not interested. Well, at the best
Very
of times.
interesting to me.
Me to you. Is that a fucking joke?
No. Why have you never sought out anyone in the taverns?
I just...
I'm just curious because you seem to bring it up for me. It's like, I mean, by all means, I do it quite often. You know, I'm just wondering why you've never done it.
It's just never crossed my mind. I mean, I'm trying to, I don't really know what I like, per se. I mean, I mean, I like girls, but I might like guys. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Want to find out?
Oh god, you're using that voice. It's never good news when you use that voice. Alright, enlighten me. How are we finding this out?
Well, there's one surefire way. Shuffles closer to.
Why are you getting,
Oh,
You're getting, a bit close.
well, you're curious, and I'm willing to help you discover some.
Oh.
If you want to, of course.
Calla, I've never done this before at all with anyone.
I know.
I didn't picture my first time being with a guy. Least of all, you know, after stuff.
I get the picture.
I think you've been drinking too much, mate.
No, I barely had 2 glasses.
No. Sober, you would not be thinking this. This is some kind of prank or something.
Leans over to him. Puts hand on cheek.
This isn't a prank, is it?
Not at all.
Just a little smile creeps his face, and he's just like, "Well, if you're sure, and if this, like, you know, stays between us and everything,
Of course. Just between me and you."
And at this point, we'll fade to black.
Yeah, that happens.
The month.
Practicing that voice.
We have been practicing that for about 7 months now. Just saying.
The
You've
month.
been practicing your sex scene for 7 months, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
The month of Nightle passes.
They just do that for the whole month.
We will
Hang on.
cover the exact goings on of the group next time.
Hang on. Oh snap!
Hold on. Just...
I think you get advantage because you're experienced.
Yeah.
Well, if John is willing to give me experience
I'll give you advantage.
advantage, it probably won't work because
You missed all the sex scene.
you missed the sex scene. Oh no!
Oh, dearie me. I feel like I missed something so great.
Sean, roll with advantage.
You missed Nan and Cal's first sex scene.
I'm trying. I don't know if that's.
First, but definitely not the only.
It's not clicking. No, there we go.
Yay!
No matter which one you're picking, is better.
So, natural 20 or not natural 20 are you picking?
I guess we went for 2 rounds.
It definitely got better.
Nice. I got 1.
Anyway, the month of Nightle passes with the details we will cover in the next session of this.
I will migrate to this bed now.
We'll publish our fan fiction in time.
And the visit of Morks.
The visit of Mork sounds like the next arc of the story.
The visit of Morks starts and ends again with details that will be covered next time.
What do you mean starts and ends?
Well,
He comes, he says hello, he goes away.
once he kills Calderax will be the end, really. So.
I think it's more once he discovers what happened between Mal and Cal, then kill Calvarax and goes away. That's the end.
The visit of Morks starts and ends, and another week or so passes, and you realise that it's been a few days, Malzere and Calderax, since you saw Neff.
Oh, come on!
Shan?
You're welcome to carry on. I'll read the right bit.
Okay. And a few days pass, and you realise Neff isn't around, and you go to search her room.
Her room? Her room! Okay, let's go to her room.
Who's in the room?
She fucking starts sleeping in a tree.
And it's clear that only a few items of clothing are missing. Her travelling rucksack isn't where it usually is. Would the floppy hat be gone?
Yeah.
I feel the floppy hat should be gone.
Yeah.
No, she leaves it behind.
You notice on the windowsill the plant, the small potted plant that she placed there upon first moving in. It is dehydrated and browning, and clearly hasn't been cared for in quite some time. And sticking out from under the pot, you find a few sheets of paper and a note that reads,
I've decided that it's time that I leave. You, Mal, and Cal, you have each other, and I wish you all the best in your futures together. It's clear that you share a special something with each other. Squeak and Barham have each other too. They're creating a life elsewhere, and I'm genuinely happy for them. I wish them both great success in life. Myself, it seems that I cannot escape the long twisted arms of fate. Perhaps I was mistaken to believe that I could begin to build somewhere I belonged. Wrong to believe that I could truly find a place to call home. For fate has always made a point of breaking whatever roots I put down for myself, removing links to my past, creating distance from those who get too close, despite all of my best efforts to fight it. I've tried to avoid this, but it's something that's played on my mind for quite some time now, so it seems there's only one thing to do, to stop fighting it. I choose to stop fighting. By now it's likely that I'm back in the forest. With this, I am therefore leaving my share of the castle equally to the four of you. The possessions I've left behind are also included in the share. I apologise for not saying goodbye. I was unable to find the words nor the strength to say it. Perhaps if fate sees fit, our paths will cross again one day. Neff.
Wow.
The other papers in the pile are signed formal papers showing the signing over of Neff's property. The final page in the stack is a drawing of the castle torn from Neff's sketchbook, which had been partially painted but was left unfinished.
That's rough. Oh,
Good news, man and Cal. You are now the sole caretaker of a full castle.
well, out of character, Sean. I think we finally have settled where these two settled down.
And with that, Nefer and Larimar disappears into the forest.
And we'll come back 2 years later to take Squeak and a necklace.
We will finish the session here.
Yeah.
Is it the end of the game too?
Yeah.
This isn't hopefully the end of the game. It might be.
It's just the beginning.
I will be talking to I'll be talking to you guys, the players, about this.
Yeah.
Those of you whose characters are left.
So, 2 people.
I won't be talking to you guys, the stream, about this, because you get to watch whatever happens. For now, what I will say is that on Friday, I'm hoping that there will be a stream. On Sunday, there definitely will be a stream. I will be back with the Storm King's Thunder crew as we deal with the aftermath of that traumatic incident.
Don't know what you're talking about.
All the drama and trauma. It's just going around these days. Next Monday, Shine and I, apparently I was at the tavern as well. Sean and I will be back on the Minecraft server. Direwolf 20 server. No, we won't. We're doing Sky Factory because we didn't do Sky Factory this week.
We'll see which one.
We'll be on a server. We'll be doing a thing. There will be Minecraft involved. We'll have the details for you later. Next Wednesday, D&D will return with Curse of this Vampire Dude. So stay tuned for that one that I get to play in. And then next Friday, I get to play again because it is Space Odysseus times.
Ooh. Dun, dun, dun.
So next week, all of my gameplays. And then at the end of that week, we'll be back with Tomb of Annihilation as the Tomb of Annihilation crew settle down for their first long and hopefully quiet night within the Tomb of Annihilation itself.
I feel that hope. I feel like that hope of yours is false.
Yeah, now that you mentioned hopefully, I think we're all gonna die in Lambert.
For now, guys, thank you so much for watching tonight. We will be back, as I say, real soon with something. Bye, guys.
Bye.